In early 2026, two dramatic events shook the foundations of international law. A joint US-Israeli strike killed Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, while days earlier, the United States launched a military operation inside Venezuela and seized its sitting president along with his wife. Both actions raise a profound question. What happens when powerful states bypass the rules meant to govern them? At the heart of the controversy lies the principle of sovereignty, the idea that no country may violate another's territorial integrity. The United Nations Charter explicitly prohibits the use of force except for self-defense or with Security Council authorization. These operations ignored both conditions. They also challenge another cornerstone of international law, head of state immunity. Sitting leaders are generally protected from foreign arrest or prosecution. Killing or abducting a national leader outside wartime conditions raises serious legal concerns. And history shows this is not new. In 1960, Israeli agents captured Nazi official Adolf Eichmann in Argentina. The operation triggered international condemnation, and the UN Security Council declared that such abduction violate sovereignty and threaten peace. Decades later, in 1989, the United States invaded Panama to remove Manuel Noriega. Noriega challenged his capture as unlawful, though the case was ultimately failed. More recently, the 2020 US drone strike that killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani sparked global debate. Legal experts argued that the strike likely violated the UN Charter and the right to life. These cases reveal a consistent pattern. Even when targeting alleged criminals or security threats, cross-border operations often trigger accusations of illegality and political backlash. So what does international law actually say? Article 2, Para 4 of UN Charter bans use of force against another state. Article 2, Para 7 reinforces respect for sovereignty and non-intervention. The strike inside Venezuela and the killing of Iran's leader breached these rules. Neither country had launched an imminent attack, making self-defense claims difficult to justify. Beyond sovereignty, international human rights law also comes into play. The right to life, protected under instruments such as the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, prohibits extrajudicial killings. Outside armed conflicts, lethal force against a political leader without due process is unlawful. Even during war, humanitarian law forbids targeting civilian leaders not engaged in hostilities. Similarly, abducting a head of state may violate protections against arbitrary detention. Now you might be wondering what happens when these rules are broken. Under international law, wrongful acts trigger state responsibility. Reparations, diplomatic consequences, or international proceedings may follow. Allies of Iran or Venezuela could pursue legal or political responses. The United Nations has previously demanded remedies in similar cases. But the legal dimension is only part of the story. Politically, such actions risk retaliation. Iran has vowed revenge. Venezuela's allies have protested, and when one power bypasses legal restraints, others may feel justified in doing the same. That possibility worries many observers. If the prohibition on force erodes, global stability becomes less predictable. The post-World War II order rests on shared rules. When those rules appear optional, smaller states often bear the consequences. From Pakistan's perspective, this precedent is both alarming and complex. Nuclear deterrence makes direct attacks by any major powers unlikely, yet any norm that legitimizes external regime removal could create insecurity in an already fragile region. For Islamabad, the lesson is clear: strengthen defense preparedness, uphold sovereignty, and advocate for collective security and strict adherence to international law. Because ultimately, the stability of the international system depends not on power alone, but on respect for the rules that govern it. So the real question is this: if those rules begin to erode, what replaces them? And who decides?